The Badgers, probably the only team from the Big Ten West that's going to be ranked in the top 25 at the start of the season. In fact, I think Wisconsin will be top 10. If not, they should be. The Badgers, who averaged 34 points a game last year, which was third best in the Big Ten behind Ohio State and Penn State, returns nearly everybody. And that does include All-American type in Jonathon Taylor. 6.5 yards per carry is what he averaged last year. Almost 2,000 yards on the ground, 13 touchdowns. In my opinion, the second best running back in all of college football. I think Stanford's Bryce Love's the best. But the Wisconsin offensive line, now, they're the best. I mean, you got nearly everybody back, all Big Ten players from tackle to tackle, and All-American or two that you're going to find up front, and David Edwards as well as Michael Dieter. Wisconsin's offensive line, they will punish you. Quintez Cephas is back at wide receiver. We didn't see him the last 5 games because of a leg injury late in the year, but he looks ready to go for this year. And if he's ready to go, watch out opposing defenses. You have Alex Hornibrook. He's back at the QB spot. He did throw for 25 TDs. He also threw, though, for 15 interceptions. Very alarming. But, again, the offense, as long as Hornibrook keeps the interceptions down, they're going to be very difficult to beat. Now, defensively, this is usually where Wisconsin has their biggest highlight, is on defense, because year in, year out, their defenses are amongst the best in the country. They were last year. But this year, if they're going to be one of the best, it'll have to be the inexperienced guys that step up to the plate, because Wisconsin, most of their defense is gone. Okay, they lost 8 starters, including 2 up front, and that's going to be a big focus. But you do return Elive Sakapolu. He's a difficult guy to block in the middle. He plays the nose tackle position. At linebacker, probably the healthiest area for the Badgers, where they had several guys play last year, including starter in T.J. Edwards. You also have back Ryan Conley at another linebacker, 88 stops a year ago. Secondary, they lost a lot, but they do return Dakota Dixon. Dakota Dixon, a very talented, strong safety. Keep an eye on him. He should have a really good year. The schedule for Wisconsin, non-conference, is ridiculous as usual. It's fairly easy. I think the toughest team is B.Y.U. And last year they beat the Cougars by about 5 touchdowns in Provo, and you get them at home this time. But the biggest difference between Wisconsin's schedule of last year and this year is last year the Big Ten part wasn't that bad. This year, it's payback. They have a lot of difficult games, especially on the road. Check this out. At Michigan, at Northwestern, at Penn State, and, of course, late September, you got the Big Ten opener at Iowa. I expect Wisconsin to win that game, but if they don't, Iowa does not have that difficult of a schedule, as we documented earlier. So the big thing for Wisconsin is to take care of Iowa. And if they lose a conference game or 2 here or there, as long as they take care of Iowa, they're going to win the West. Otherwise, yeah, they can put themselves in a precarious position. Now, how do I think Wisconsin's going to do? You already know I'm picking them to win the West. I don't see this team losing more than 2 games. Their offense is just way too good, and it's about ball control. It's about controlling the line of scrimmage, and Wisconsin will do that about as good as anybody in the country. I do think, however, because of the difficulty of the schedule, Wisconsin is going to get beat, okay? When you got to go to Penn State, when you got to go to Michigan and Northwestern and Purdue, those are difficult contests. The Iowa game, can't take that lightly either, even though I think they're better than Iowa. I look for Wisconsin to easily have a double-digit winning season, probably go 10-2, and win the West. Now, do I have them winning the Big Ten? Well, you'll have to check back on this very webpage in late August when I will pick all of the major conference winners and my 4-team playoff.
Football.